Good morning everyone, Sugar and Crumbs team here. Happy birthday to us! Woohoo! So we've got Vedia here today and she's going to make you a beautiful David Austin rose. She's going to throw her flower dust or petal dust all over the stand, so do be careful. Okay, so Maria, come on in. We've got a great crowd. Do you want to show everybody around? We've got a great crowd. We're here at Cake International. Say hello everybody. Go slowly. We've got Julie and Richard behind the stand today. And if you're sneaky, you'll catch John. So join us, it's going to be a great demo. Now Vedia does only speak quietly. I'm going to keep telling her to shout as loud as she can. Okay? And Maria, as per usual, will be getting her nose in nice and clear. So come on over, Maria, let's show you what Vedia can do. If you've not met Vedia before, later on nip over to her page. We've tagged her in. Like her page, let her know what you thought of the demo. But we're really very excited to see this one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Come on, Vedia, it's your go.
Thank you. Right, okay. Right, everybody. So we're going to make a David Austin rose. Have I got? I think I have one that I've made before. Let me just check.
Wow.
Oh no, I've left it in the car. I thought I had one. So the David Austin rose, basically, the centre is quite sort of not frilly. Yeah, frilly. So you start with a frilly centre and then you put the petals on outside, rather than a traditional rose, which is where you kind of start with a cone and twist. So there's a couple of ways to do the David Austin rose with sugar paste and with wafer paper. You hear me, yeah? So the first way, which I think is a little bit complicated, is with wires. And essentially what you do is wrap the petals around the wires, put them together. So I've come up with a way that I think is a little bit more simple. So I start with a bamboo skewer and I put a foam ball onto that and just chop the top. You can get all these things from like Hobbycraft there, from Asda.
You might be able to get them on Vanilla Valley over there. So we've got
foam
paper,
balls.
we've got paper, brushes, colours. But if you need glue or you need the balls, go and see Vanilla Valley. He should have them. If not, Hobbycraft.
Okay.
Gonna shout, Vedia.
Right. Okay. Sorry. So it's not like me to be quiet. It's not like me to be quiet. So I start with I'll use a little bit of piping gel, and I'm just going to attach a little bit of sugar paste. So we want a sticky surface for the petals to adhere to. Just going to brush that down. Now it can be quite, we want it quite, we're going to stick the petals in. It's a little bit tricky, so we want a little bit of depth on this, and we do want it to be quite sticky. We'll see in a minute why. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's not smooth or pretty, we want it just nice and sticky, and I'm getting really sticky. Where's my clock? Okay, so with wafer paper, guys, if you've never worked with it before, you need to, it can be tricky. It loves water but hates water, which is weird. So you just got to be careful. I use rose water, which you can again buy from supermarkets, and I keep it in this as a little spray. And what this does, it helps soften the paper and helps give you the frills that you see on flowers. Okay, but you have to be careful not to go too much. I'll probably show you and it'll get too sticky. So I started off cutting out circles. You can just cut them freehand. I just got a hole punch that I bought again from Hobbycraft, a large hole punch, it's just quicker. So we're going to get a few petals. So I'll start off with, so we've got a smooth side and a rough side. So I'm going to put them with the smooth side up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to start with 5 petals and just cut these in half. Okay. So just move these out of the way. What we want to do is, what we need to achieve is we want to stick these petals slightly with one above the other. Okay, so piping gel. We just want to graduate the petals down. You see, I'm just sticking them there lightly at the base.
Don't forget to show Maria.
Sorry, Maria. Okay.
Yeah, I'm already on the website.
There we go. Right, so what we want to do now is really gently, one side, bring one side over to the other to create
Very sweet. Oh, you know.
this kind of pattern, yeah? So this is going to be the start of the rose. You want to do, we're going to do about 5 of these, 5 or 6 of these, and we're going to stick that on. It can get fiddly, so bear with me. Now, if we want to frill it slightly, this is where we bring in a little bit of the spray. Really lightly spray. And the paper itself will just naturally start to curl.
My picture comes up.
Less is more, because if you go more, it'll all stick together. So I'm just going to gradually. It's rose water. If you smell it, it's gone, which is perfect for doing roses and flowers with. It's lovely. Kind of just evaporates, so. Can you see? So we're just going to pull that. We want a bit of raggedy edges, pull them down gently. Does anybody garden? Does anybody garden? Love David Austin roses? The better that I always look to the. I don't look online at flowers that have been done by sugar or paper. I look at the real rose, and then you can be a bit more organic with it. Okay, so that's sticking. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to trim a little bit off there at an angle, because what I want now is a little bit of a base. Just push it down. It is paper, so tiny little bit of a base here. So the first few are quite fiddly, but as they start to support each other as you fill them in and go around. So that is the beginning. So you do want this, you know, about a few millimetres thick, so it's got something to stick to. And then you can gradually, just gently, now that's softening up a little bit. Just gently, now with the glasses on, can't see. And open it up, okay? It's the first one. So I've got the other half here, 5. If you do these on wires individually, they do take a long time. You have to put each petal on by a wire. I mean, it just depends. This for me is a little bit more of a quick method. Okie doke. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Come on round if you've got to move up a bit. There's another space here if you can see a bit better.
Okay, so we just glue in the next set of petals. Just be careful not to glue that edge. We want that edge loose because that's the edge that's going to become the centre frill. I think that goes at the back. The thing is with the paper, if you make a mistake, you can just cut more. It's not like florist paste where it starts to harden, or you know you've spent ages doing a petal and then you're just going to have to bin it. Whereas this, if you make a mistake, it's really quick. Just bin it, start again. Okay, so we've already got the start again of the next one. Get the glue. I think we'll go to the end. We're going to go in with the spray. And we just shake it off. You can feel it start to soften. Oops, wrong end. Okay, so again, just trim the bottom. And we're going to stick this in here. Trim a little bit off that because I think that's a bit high for what I actually want. So if you did this with sugar paste, this takes, I think the first time I did a David Austin roll, it took me 3 hours. It's really quite tricky because it's all this layering, whereas with the paper, you'd have to roll it out individually, cut it out, ball tool each individual petal, whereas this, you just put it out, put them together and stick. Right.
We had a lady yesterday who loves it. What? How are we doing? How are we doing? Poor internet connection. Right, okay. So let me just say, guys, keep with the live. We are struggling here with the Wi-Fi. As the crowd's getting bigger, the internet's getting poorer. But whatever happens, Maria will be doing a 1-minute video later on when she's back next week. So keep filming, Maria.
No, I love the 1-minute videos though. I think they're fab. So trim the excess again. Let's give it a spray. I'm going to spray that again. I just don't want to go too much. So how quickly that starts to unfold. Could do with fast forwarding this bit. Although if it was a sugar rose, we'd probably be here all day.
You know what'll happen? It'll all suddenly pull together and look amazing, won't it?
I'm sure I've got one in the car, you know. I don't know if I've got it in there because I brought one with me.
This is the theme for the top and side.
So we're just going to stick trim the edge, spray. At least we're all going to smell of roses.
It smells lovely. It smells lovely. Has it actually got a smell like rose water?
Yeah, you have a smell. Yeah, it's what you use in sort of Persian, Asian cooking. Turkish Cypriot, we use it in Turkish delight. That's what it's used in a lot. Rose flavour water.
Do you have to use the rose water, or do you use just normal?
Normal water doesn't evaporate, so you would soak it and it would go like gelatinous. So you need something that you could use alcohol as well, like a light vodka or a gin or something like that. But I just prefer the smell of that, really. It doesn't linger, it's nicer to wear with spraying vodka all over you. If you spent 3 hours making a rose and you were spraying vodka by the end of it, you'd probably be really chilled out, to be fair.
It'll take you 6 hours then.
We are going to have to shout up with you.
Okay. On here or here.
We're still got people watching, but they are struggling.
Hi guys, sorry if you can't hear me. So we're layering. We're just going to keep going with this, adding these together.
Do you two want to get out?
No, we're okay. I'm saying
Okay. Loosen the petals up, close them up. Just be careful, your extra stuff that's starting to curl as the little bit of rose water's hitting it. Like that. You see, okay, yeah. Oh, I can see myself. little bit more spray. Okay. So once you've got your basic centre there, now your structure, you start adding individual petals. And you can stick these to the side and at the bottom. And you want to just kind of start filling all this space out now. So we want to go really kind of, what's the word, Maria? Not fluffy, frilly.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
And can you paint it?
Yes, we're gonna dust it and paint it afterwards. If you want to pre-dust your sheets, you can do. My last one I did was like a dusty pink, and I'd already done the sheet. And actually, you can use your printer as well if you've got an edible printer. You can print out pale coloured sheets and have a different colour centre, and then go in with your different dust. Oh, that's fell. Petal down, man down. Right. So I'm just conscious of, I'm rushing here now and the bit, there we go, that's fine. So when you're sort of making rows and things like that, you can start to bend it back. So you just got to judge how much of the spray you need. That will be fine. If you go too much, like I said, it'll just turn to jelly. But you've got plenty. It's quick enough to start again with it. Right, so we'll go around here. Oh, getting all sticky. Just need to pinch it. And it should stick. There we go.
Are you making notes?
Yes.
She's making a video. You can watch the video on Facebook.
Right, we're going to let these dry a little bit now. This one wants to keep coming away. I'm going to have to let that dry for a minute. Leave that to dry. Yeah.
It takes a long time, doesn't it?
Well, I was going to say a normal sugar, a David Austin Rose would take about 2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh, would it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Well, why don't you say that?
I have been doing it.
have you?
I have. It does take a
2
while.
hours, and we're going to do it in 10 hours. What have we been doing? We've been
10 minutes.
25.
20. I know, no pressure. A David Austin Rose in 30 minutes record.
That's the thing when you're watching though, isn't it? You just
It is. It's. I know. That's why I like it when she shows it. She does the minute
she does the
video,
short
but
version.
yeah.
The mirror cake was a great short version, wasn't it?
So we just want to glue these little petals as they're starting to come away. supposed to spend ages just being really gentle with these, and I'm just rushing through.
But Wafer is looking amazing.
Is it?
I
Good.
couldn't do that in 30 minutes.
It is.
in 2 hours.
It is really fiddly, but the end result is really beautiful. So if you just bear with me, I can't wait for when you fast forward the mini video and we can post that. So again, you want to start opening up the leaves a little bit around it, and then eventually we're gonna start putting the outer leaves on, and then it's finished, which is pretty quick for a flower. Does anybody do sugar crafting or make roses or anything? Yeah, so you know what I mean, don't you? Because you've got your ball tool, you're going in, you're cutting, your ball and tooling, and it is a lot longer process.
So fats and then it breaks, and then you've got to start again.
Exactly. So this is a bit fiddly, but it's light as well. So when you've done it, when you've got them on the cakes, it's if you want like a really, like a large bouquet, these are brilliant. And I also use these as additional filler flowers with sugar paste as well. Right, it's not sticking. Come on. Don't lose that bit, please don't. I'm rushing. Right, okay. Piping jelly, I don't know really. Do you know what? It's like a kind of just gelatinous sort of sugar mix, but it's thicker. Yeah, because sometimes if you use water, it will eat through the actual paper. So you've just got to go really gently with it. This is just quite sticky, yeah. You use that as well if you're doing a cake and you want something to look like, water on the cake. So if you do like a pond or a waterfall. Don't want this to fall. When you curl this as well, once you've curled it, it just stays. Whereas, yourself with like florist paste, you've got to wait for it to dry. And okay, right. I'm going to start putting some outer leaves on now. Do a couple more. Just want them to dry. So we're just going to trim that bit down. So this is going to be, so if you're doing like a traditional rose, if you were doing a traditional rose, you do a cone and just wrap the paper around it. And then for your leaf, what I do is I just manipulate it a little bit and then start to do the curve. Yeah. And then if you press in the middle, just to give it that hooked kind of shape that you want.
So how are we doing? Is this thing going to keep fading?
We're okay.
Okay. So wait a minute, just pop up. So guys, we're really struggling with the internet here. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the live to an end, and then Maria is actually going to just film normally, and then we'll post it on our page, and that will be better then for you to see the whole thing. So rather than you having to keep refresh what's going on, we're going to end the live now, and all the other lives we're going to do as an intro, but then we'll film them and then post them to the page later, and then that way you get to see everything at your leisure. So what we're going to do is say goodbye from all of us at Sugar Drums. Bye! And we'll come back with video in a few minutes. Well, not for you guys, but we'll come back later when we do the post. All right then, bye!
So funny.
Take 2 hours to make
Honestly, I know.
That's the thing when you're watching a demo, though. I think we do just think, oh, you'll go,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Oh, that's falling. It's not sticking, that one. Come on. Oh, what's that? Just hold that one. So with your petals, stick to the odd numbers what you would do with a traditional row. So we've got 5. I'm going to do another row so it's really full. Got any more of it? Oh, sorry, thank you. We've done, if you go online at Sugar and Crumbs, we've done lilies, which are really nice, so you can just cut them freehand. You don't need if you've not got these cutters. Most of the flowers that you can just trace out on the paper and just cut freehand. But with roses, I always just use the circle. Get quicker. The more you work with it, you'll get used to how sticky it gets, and just got to keep holding it in place until it dries, but it does dry really quickly.
It's looking good.
Yeah?
Yeah, looking good.
Pretty.
Right, shout me if you need me. I'm going to go back in the
Yeah,
nozzles.
no problem, no problem. So compared to somebody who makes sugar flowers, what do you think? It's a lot quicker, isn't it? It's quicker as well, isn't it? Yeah. So if you want a lot of filler flowers on a cake, it's just a really... And you like me, lastminute.com for an order. Yeah, and it's more, a lot of flowers are translucent, so I think you can get you can put them in moulds as well. It is a little bit tricky, again, you just got to get used to it with the spray, but they'll go into moulds, leaf moulds and flower moulds, leave them to dry, so you can actually get the pattern on as well. So if you want to do like a big peony and you want like all the lines in it, yeah, it does work really well. And for fantasy flowers, it's fantastic because you can just go for it, cut 5 big leaves off and boom, you've just got a flower. So I'm just pressing this on. I'm just going to start to bring it out a little bit more now. So we're going to open it up. The pack of paper, I'm not sure how much sorry. Oh, the paper punch. I got that from Hobbycraft. It's about $8.99. But if you want to just get started, you can cut out any of the shaped leaves. Like I said, I've done a lily, which is just trace it out on a piece of card and do it. Put a couple of layers, cut them out. 5 petals, really, really quick. Yeah. If you put them on wires as well, I'll show you how to do that. All you have to do is slit the paper, put the piping gel on, put the wire on one side and fold it over. I'll show you how to do that as well. Or you can put the wire on, say if you were doing a poppy, so you want that kind of shape, you can just put the wire on and then you cut like a little bit and stick it on top and it just adheres really, yeah. We use really quite light wires and say like 26 gauge, something like that. want to have a feel of it, guys. Have a play if you want, just to have a feel of it, how you try and manipulate it if you want. So you can see what it's like to work with. Pardon? It's a bit delicate. I'm not giving it a chance to dry. It's fall apart. I think we're going to have to get some water on this. Falling apart now.
I want to come back to see.
I need to let that dry a little bit. I'm gonna have to let that dry because the more if you keep adding it on when it's wet, it's gonna fall apart. So just let it dry. So I'll show you how to dust it. I was just gonna say I'll show you how to dust it now. What I do, this is where I come into my own now. This is where I get messy. I love being messy. So you can go, we've got these, I love these brushes, Carol sells it. Let me just dry, sorry, just dry my hands. My son's ringing. Should I answer it? Hello? Hiya Josh, you okay? You're live at Cake International. What do you want? Okay. Alright then, I'll speak to you later. Bye. It's a conversation for later. He's probably in trouble. 16-year-old, he's just started college. That's gorgeous, isn't it? It's lovely. We'll go just with your dust. You can just... But this is where I'm going to get really messy. I'll move everything out of the way. I'll use this. So we'll just dab it on your brush. And you want to just gently brush it on.
So are you doing that on the smooth side or?
On the smooth side, yeah. You tend to use the smooth side for the outer side of the petal, but say if you're working, you want a leaf and you want a little bit of texture, then you can go with the rough side. It's entirely up to you and what design you're going for. But the dust adhere really well, but it's just quite delicate. You're never going to get a solid colour, but if you've got a printer, an edible printer, you can just put your sheets through and colour the whole thing in whatever colour really. You can also airbrush them really lightly, yeah. And again, you do get that little bit of crinkly texture, but it works with, if you're doing flowers and... So, just a little bit. Oops. Okay, so when you spray it with your rose water, it'll set the dust as well, and then you've got your, it's ready to go. So if you want to get a bit of a production line going, ladies, you can just spray them, and then you've got a row of your rose petals ready. Once you've assembled the flower as well, you can go in with more dust to create depth and shade. Okay, so you can snip the bottom and glue the side like that, so you've got that cupped shape. Yeah. It's really loose. We'll let that dry a bit. Oops. Like that. We'll get some sugar paste. We'll do a quick flower. So if you want like a little sort of a large blue flower just to stick on the cake, you can just go in with a little circle. Sugar paste, and you can stick you need to lift this. Do that one actually. Snip the bottom. Ah! Killed it with the scissors. Yeah, you're doing some water, you know. I think the gel's not really. Get yourself a little centre. You can add more petals to that if you just want a, you know, quick bloom, dust it off.
It's more effective with the colours once you put it together as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I am really rushing. We've got some ones that we've put online, but you can just, do you know what? You can just play with it and just create. You could go another row. So if you just basically start with a sugar paste disc and do a few flowers, and you can just have them cascading down a cake. And then once it's dried, you can go in and do more shading. You can put leaves on, so we can put some leaves out actually. Got your green dust, we'll put a little leaf on it and then. for a fantasy flower, we've got a teal leaf.
Oh, I love this color.
I love this colour, this is my favourite. Put it on actually, bit of teal. I think I've got one of me, what tool have I got? Because I've put some lines in, just grab the tools. Got it? Sorry, you can mark. I would use not a scribe or you can mark your leaf. So you could just do this with the end of your brush. Okay. So as you dust it, it starts to pick out the lines on the leaf. Give it a little bit of a spray. And then that. Pop that on your cake. So you could do a few and just quick, simple decorations. So I don't know whether I dare dust this because I think it's going to fall apart, but you get the idea, don't you? This is just... Yeah, we'll let that dry.
Yep, which brush would you like? Which one, this one? Yep.
How much is it?
Sorry, £4.50.
Got a
Do you
few
need a
more.
carrier bag?
Oh, sorry, it's rose water, which you can just buy from the supermarket.
Are we done? Is it done?
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, we're all done.
Thank you very much.
I've got the other rose in my car. The finished one, I'll bring that so you can have a shot of it. Yeah, because I've not got time to. We're going to need to let that dry and put more leaves on and dust it. I'll do it as we go along, but that's... Put a few more leaves on that. So guys, are you converted to wafer paper yet?
It's a lot easier.
It is, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
quicker for somebody who does sugar paste flowers, you know. It's, if you want a very quick decoration.
Are we still there?
And also, you can get the different hole punches and hovercraft.